63 people on. Oh dear.
Someone said, I don't think it's the end of lockdown, unfortunately.
Well, do you know what I think? We're going to take all the masks off. Boris has said what he said, but I do believe we're going to all get another wave. I don't think it's going to be the end of COVID. I just think it's all a load of nonsense, just designed to keep us running around like headless chickens, not knowing our head from our elbows. But it's about me personally. I think everyone should focus on staying healthy, fit, exercise, eating proper food, proper nutrients, because everyone that's dying and everybody that's being affected are because of underlying health conditions, and I think the chips are designed to accelerate any underlying health conditions for fatalities. So as long as you're fit and healthy, you don't have to worry about the COVID stuff. And the amount of people that's been affected by COVID is unreal. Me being one of them. Like, businesses, homes, and lives have been ruined down to COVID. It's mad. Do you get affected by COVID?
Just lack of work initially, but to be fair, I enjoyed it staying at home. Made me spend more time with the family, to be fair.
Yeah. How about you? Was you affected by it? Mark? I'll wait for you to swallow. You'll be alright. Yeah, it's just nuts, mate. The amount of people that... do you know what? I wonder how many people walk about without no mask now. That's what we was discussing tonight as well, isn't it, Nikhil? The amount of people that will walk about without masks, or how many people are programmed to wear the masks now, But the key to COVID is healthy living, really, do you know what I mean? So as long as you're healthy living, you've got no real dangers of COVID effects or detrimental effects, fatal effects,
Someone said family is the most absolutely healthy. I've not been out much in 18 months and it's affecting my mobility drastically.
Yeah, that's because you're not exercising, and people don't realise that your muscles reduce every day. They don't get used, they dissipate. So you've got to use your muscles, otherwise they diminish into nothing. And that's what happens with the lack of mobility. So you owe it to yourselves to actually exercise, Like, just see how many press-ups you can do, see how many sit-ups you can do, see how many squats you can do. Just challenge yourself every day to do things, and a little bit more every day. And that's the key to adaptability and motivation. It keeps you motivated, because you wake up and you think, well, I've got to do one more today, and I can do one more. We can do one more, innit? Anyone can do one more, and that's what you tell yourself over and over again. Crazy.
I'm 19 and I've been healthy for years, not been ill. I feel like it's been forced on me to put this undeveloped vaccine in my body.
You feel like what?
I'm 19, I've been healthy for years, not been ill. I feel like it's been forced on me to put this undeveloped vaccine in my body.
Yeah, no, but you don't have to put it in your body. You just have to be confident enough and strong enough to go down the right channels and explore the dangers prior to getting the vaccination. And if it's necessary to have the vaccination, then have it. There's no law to say you have to have any vaccination. That's the madness. Everyone thinks it's a law. Like, the hell? Like, and they're saying you won't be able to travel. I don't believe that. I think it would be difficult, be challenging, till you get to a certain level, then it don't matter.
Someone said my son had COVID 3 weeks ago, 27-year-old, Royal Marine, nothing more than a cold.
There you go. And they'll be coming all day, all week, all month. and it just comes and goes. Depends on the infrastructure of your system, whether or not it's fit and healthy enough to sustain an attack from the universe physiologically.
Someone said, what about going on holiday? What about going on holiday though, Marv? Got to be double vaxxed or no more holidays? What you reckon there?
See, I don't think there's going to be a way around it. Just wait, don't panic, just relax. Like, as long as I haven't got COVID, I can travel. Facts. Right? I don't need a vaccination not to travel. Like, they're telling you need a vaccine. That's what they're telling you. But I'm telling you, you can travel without a vaccination. As long as you haven't got COVID, yeah, you can travel. Simple. And this is designed to keep the people with no money in a place and the people with money able to do what they like. Because it will cost a little bit more money to travel without a vaccine. So all the rich people will be travelling without vaccines. I'm not rich, but I'll pay that extra little bit more not to have the vaccine in my body. Do you know what I mean? And that's the reality. And if the richest people on the planet are not getting themselves vaccinated, why am I? Do you know what I mean? They're the ones who are plugged in, mate. Do you know what I mean? Then you go up as far as you want, mate. Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows, I don't need to mention no names, they're the family infrastructures that run this planet. Do you know what I mean? But they're not taking no vaccines. Bill Gates has publicly said he ain't giving his kids it. Why am I going to take it? Do you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Someone said it's sad onshore plays at the moment. My friend died yesterday. The article is on the Manchester Evening News. It's a sad story and was only 19. What would you recommend in how to deal with loss and tragedy?
Do you know what? I ain't no professional, right? And I can't advise anybody on what would be the best strategy or process for them. But I do know professional assistance with counselling does help. Like, I've had bereavement counselling to deal with dreams and trauma that I've been through. I've had psychological therapists helping me get through physical trauma. Like, I'll just say, if you're going through anything that you can't handle, seek the right help. And that help may not come through a family member. I'd advise to go through a professional avenue, because that'll be your safest bet for resolution rather than sort of not dealing with your bereavement or loss, you know, because a lot of people bury trauma and they replace it with something else. And I mean that by, for argument's sake. I might lose my uncle today and I'll go to my cousin and I say, oh, what's happening, cuz, man? I feel stressed. What are you feeling stressed for, cuz, man? Come on, man, fix up, let's do this, let's do that. So then naturally they want to make you happy. Naturally they want to change your mindset. Naturally they want to make you feel better. So they'll do things what they feel may make you feel better. But that might add to the prolonged depression of reality. Although they feel they're doing something right by taking you out, having a drink, having a puff, having a little party, take you out away from things, it might have a negative contributing factor, which you don't realise until after you've had a few weeks drinking. And then you have the impact. So I believe, personally, from my own experience, that I've been helped massively by these programs and professionals within the psychological industry. Yeah. So get help from the right people in the right places for any sort of trauma or bereavement-based stuff. People that you know will only try to make you feel better without a real cure.
I had the vaccine, both doses, and I was ill. After the first one, my thoughts were the same as the MMR for kids. But thinking about it, how long did the MMR vaccine take to be able to be had to all?
Look, at the end of the day, everybody's dominated with this emotion of fear, which is instilled with us through the media and the government and the people we're supposed to believe and trust. So I don't judge anybody that's had the vaccine, but I haven't had one vaccine since I was 8 years of age or 7 years of age. Like all the primary school vaccinations, all the secondary school vaccinations, I refused to have them because I didn't like injections. So I've been stabbed, shot, beaten, battered, bruised, depressed. Well, not depressed, I've been neglected, abandoned. Do you know what I mean? And deprived. and I've never had these psychological, these emotional, or these downsides, like, and I've turned my whole life around. Like, it's like I've cancelled myself back to normality, and I truly believe it's because I haven't had all these vaccinations and messed with my mind as a kid. Do you know what I mean? Or messed with my body as a kid. And I think people say, how do I get through this? How do I get over that? How am I so this? How am I so that? That's because my body is not contaminated with vaccines that everyone else has had as kids. All that BCG and all that sort of stuff. I never had that. I was scared of them six needles. Yeah? Forget that. I was out of school, mate. Do you know what I mean? I had no boundaries as a kid, so I had no vaccination. So I'm not a vaccination-friendly guy anyway. So each to their own, but do what's legal, do what's right, and do what you're happy with.
Is there any healthy drinks other than green tea that can help me detox?
From my perspective, yeah, white tea. White tea with lemons in it. Like, but no, nothing else. Like, nothing else. Even the water from the bottles, mate, it's all bad for you. So just green tea, white tea. Yeah, like, I don't drink nothing else, and I wouldn't advise anyone else to drink anything else either. There's plenty of it. So this gets filled up about 12 times a day, 15 times a day. Facts.
Hey Marv, did you ever meet R.A. from Brixton in your prison travels?
R.A. It reminds, look, do you know what? R.A. It rings a bell. There wasn't anybody in the prison system that I never met, really. We was all, around the 80s and 90s, you were in and out of remand centres, and I was in I was in the places you went to before you went to dispersal. So the people that was getting allocated to dispersals, I was around all them people. I weren't deep in dispersal, but there ain't many people that I don't know. I'd say maybe 2% of the prison population I wouldn't know, but the rest of them would know of me or know of who I was, sort of thing. It's mad.
Someone said, where's the laser video? It's been 2 weeks. FU player. He said it a good couple times.
It can get that. Do you know what? There's certain people that are worth discussing, and there's certain people and things you just ignore to discuss. So, moving on.
I'm the same when I stopped campaigning. What is the most terrifying thing that's to come next? I don't trust the man government officials.
So, right, that's just mad, isn't it? Because I believe you're getting pushed underground. I reckon the working class is going to be pushed underground. If you research indoor beaches, underground cities, you'll see. They've been building it for the last 15, 20 years, all around the world, getting ready. So I'm just happy to live my life, my transition, help generate a legacy that my bloodline can live on for the rest of their life, and just bow out gracefully and just let the 21st century take the 21st century. I was happy in the 20th century. We had a blast. I've learned a lot, lost a lot, lived a lot. And now it's the 21st century and things are going to change. And with that, everybody's got to change with it. And that's just the reality. We're old now. We're old school. We're old at. We're lost and gone now. We're the old breed. We're the last of them. So the next generation are not going to be chatting what we're chatting, talking what we're talking, doing what we're doing. The whole planet's going to be different. Strategies, working, employment, everything's going to be different in the next 5 years.
Do you do any work with any of the victims you affected in your past life?
I have in the past. I've done some work with a couple of people. I'm in the process of working with the most explosive one at the moment, but that will come soon. I'll work with anyone. I want to work with a geezer that shot me, to be fair, but I just hope he gets the courage and wisdom to come along and work with us to achieve the common goal. That'd be powerful. Do you know what I mean? And I don't hate him enough to weigh him in or want to weigh him in. Like, in honesty, I like the fella. He was alright. He was like my mate. Do you know what I mean? I was just gutted someone with their tongue, nipple and belly button pierced shot me.
Did you ever meet a man that made you doubt your physical capabilities or that scared you?
No. There's one from South London, and he's the only person that I physically thought may be able to beat me up. And I was actually thinking of at them times in my life, I thought of a strategy on how to beat him and what I could do. But physically, there was only one man from Summer Leighton, he was, and I'll give him his props, JF. Because I don't know if I can mention his full name, but JF, my guy. Yeah.
Mark, can I ask you a quick boxing question?
Go on.
Do you think Huey
Yes.
will be world champion eventually? Loved your Peter Fury podcast, mate.
Do you know what? It's up to him. If he stays focused and he keeps doing what he's doing, then yeah. It's just not. It's not complicated. It's the commitment you've got to apply to the achievement which is complicated. And if he's committed to achieve it, then he'll get it. That's how boxing is. He'll get it. Like, look, all the world champions that made it over the last 10 years in Britain. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've had some phenomenal world champions that beat some sick world-class fighters. Like, and we've had some upsets in the game from British fighters that have upset the whole world in boxing. Do you know what I mean? We've had a couple of defeats, but predominantly the British boxing's gone through the roof in the last 10 years. And we've had world champions in every weight class. Do you know what I mean? It's been sick.
What's your biggest regret?
Do you know what? The only regret I honestly have is not being a better dad. That's the only regret I've got, not being a better dad. Like, I could have been a much better dad.
What keeps you going, Mark?
Trying to be a better dad. I've even got to salute myself for that one. Yeah, no, that's a fact. Just trying to be a better dad. And do you know the irony of that one is, right? I'm trying to be a better dad, but it seems like it's affecting the relationship with the kids even more. Do you know what I mean? It's like ironic, but it's just, they're healthy, they're all doing well, there ain't no real tragedy cases. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's active issues, everyone's dealing with them, everyone's getting on, everyone's moving forward, and everybody's in the right frame of mind, you know. So I've got no doubts the family's going to be as successful and as accomplished as they deserve to be.
Who do you think will win between AJ and Fury if it ever happens?
I've been asked this question on numerous occasions, and because I'm a fighter, not a boxer, I understand the difference between fighting and boxing. Now, AJ was a fighting man in a different respects to Tyson Fury being a fighting man. Now, in my perspective, I saw AJ as a brawler. Powerful, steamrolling, boom, 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 catch you, knock you out. But when you've got to get in the ring with someone that's elusive, that can't be hit, that can hit, that's powerful, that can move, that won't hit you, that won't be hit, like, it's more of a chess match. And because the experience I know Tyson has, that AJ's learning, I'd always favour Tyson because of my own abilities in boxing myself. You know, I don't know I'm a superstar, but I can get in the ring and hold my own with virtually anyone at any level. And you know when you're out of your league, technically wise. And I believe once they get in the ring, the difference with AJ and Fury will become abundantly obvious. And AJ will realise. Hopefully it'll be the best fight that British history and the planet's ever seen, because AJ is learning how to box now. He's learning how not to engage in toe-to-toe. So he's developing skills that he needs to fight Tyson. So depending on how long it's prolonged for and what his learning capabilities are, that's determining the outcome of the fight from my perspective. If they got in right now, I think AJ will do a little bit better than I thought he would have done a year ago. If they get in 12 months' time, he's going to do a lot better then than he would have done now. So he's learning his craft now. That's what I'm learning. That's what I'm listening. That's what I'm hearing. And when you hear that in the trade, you know what he's doing. So he's learning his craft now. So he's learning how not to be egotistical. He's learning how not to fight. He's learning how to be reserved and catch weight and score points and win matches. Like, he's learning how to box, so to speak. He's learning how to punch and not be punched. So there's art to boxing, is very intricate when you don't understand it, or intricate when you understand it. You know, it's when you don't understand it, it's simple. People punching each other and they'll knock each other out. They're shit, but it's not about that. Some people are just not possible to hit. Who would I like to fight in the ring? Egotistically wise, Canelo. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to do 3 rounds with Canelo. Yeah. It's just whoever's the best at the time. Back in the day, I would have wanted to do it with Tyson. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, whoever. I always want to test who I am now with who it is now. I wouldn't want to get in the ring with anybody that has or used to be. It's crazy.
Did you box in the amateurs as a kid?
I never got a licence. You had to be a good boy to get licensed. You had to do as you was told. I wasn't that kid. No, I had conflict in my own gym, with my own boxing stable. Do you know what I mean? Like, I felt I was always too good for the sort of golden boys. The golden boys, I used to beat them up. I thought they were idiots, but there was a lot of racism going on back then. So I never actually got medical cards to represent the clubs. But I was always in the background with all the boxers. I was always sparring all the boxers. I was always fighting all the boxers. Like, so I was always in it from 9, 10 years of age. And I just continued to train and box. And if I went to a gym and there was a pro boxer, then I'd want to spar him. Like, not because I want to beat him up, but I just want to see how far I can go and how good I actually am. And it was just about me, really, knowing who I am and what I'm capable of.
Do you still spar with some of the professionals, and who has been your best spar as in pro boxers?
Do you know what? They're all different. So the best spars I've actually had, I can say what I enjoyed myself was with young Joe Selkirk, right? Because we had a year of sparring, me and Joe, in Marbella when MGM first opened, MTK. And we had some battles, mate. Some toe-to-toes, mate. Some soul-wrenching, sort of gut-wrenching, lung, like strangling. I was nuts. Like the amount of energy you needed to get through these rounds was phenomenal. But we trained like beasts, mate, like world champions, mate. It was sick. We had a year of that. I've sparred Callum, Liam, although they was exceptional. Callum Smith and Liam Smith, I've sparred a couple of people from Joe Gallagher's stable as well. Scott Cardell, Anthony Corolla, I've moved around with all of them. But they was technical boxers. They moved and it was different kind of boxing. So they outboxed me, moved around and done things. Whereas with Joe Selkirk, we was toe to toe. That's why I enjoyed them ones the best, you know. So in answer to the question, was Joe Selkirk the best? For me, that it was the best because it was toe to toe. We just had it. And the others was just knowing I could get through the 3 rounds with the world champion or the European champion or the Commonwealth champion or whoever it was I was in the ring with. It was just getting through them rounds comfortably putting them under a certain amount of pressure, so they had to sort of respect me, and that was all it was about.
Marvin, any advice on controlling emotions like anger? I've been going on to discuss, sorry, I've been going to the doctors since I was 5. I'm now 20. I know it's me that can only change that, but I'm scared that one day I'll hurt someone.
The chimp paradox. And do you know what is, I don't know why these guys don't get me on their platform, because it's the only book that's helped me. So I know it will help anybody that has anger issues. Like, as long as you're accountable with who you are and what your choice making process, then this book will help you. And get it in audio book as well and listen to it. That's what I got in. And it's about controlling them voices. That voice that says, you don't need to listen to it. Listen to the voice that tells you to calm down and relax. Listen to the voice that tells you to go home. Listen to that voice, because that's the voice you need to listen. That's your frontal lobe. And it doesn't make you weak doing the right thing, you know. Right, so yeah, COVID has come to an end, so they say. Now everybody's supposed to take the mask off and walk about like nothing's ever happened. Crazy old world we're living in, isn't it? Madness. Madness. Anything else to cover?
Who's going to win?
Pardon?
Who do you think's going to win?
Who do I think's going to win what?
Fury or Wilder?
Fury. I don't think Wilder can learn what he needs to learn to beat Fury in the short space of time that he's had. But then again, if Fury makes a mistake, then he could get caught. And if he gets caught, then he can go kip. So it's another 50-50 run. If they both do what they're supposed to do professionally, they both win. Basically, that's it. Do you know what I mean? Right. Wicked. Big up Scotland every time. I'm coming up there soon. I've got a couple of things to do. I'll be posting soon what I'll be doing out there. So we'll get together and have a session of reasoning somewhere up in Scotland, Edinburgh or Glasgow. So I'll be out there. We'll have a couple of weeks out there doing some training as well. So we'll be doing some talks, some audiences and some training with Marvin Herbert up in Scotland.
Someone said, as a kid in care, I was moved 51 times and had 33 convictions between age 11 and 17. Almost 20 years without one now. I'm keen to speak with Marv if he has time.
Yeah, contact me at marvin@themarvinherbert.com. And another thing as well, right, I'll put my number out there so people could ring and communicate and have a little dig. I get that, but someone else needs a bit of help when you're wasting my time, man. And you're not going to wind me up. Do you know what I mean? I'll just ignore you and hang up. Like, I don't get it. Chill out. Leave me alone. Support me. Say nice one, Marv. All this nonsense. Ringing me up, hanging up, ringing me up, saying nothing. Ringing me up and breathing. What's that all about? Whoever that is, yeah. I don't know why you're breathing down the phone.
Wolverhampton, Birmingham.
What, breathing down the phone?
No,
Oh. That's deep. Come on, man. But if you want to speak to me, just speak, man. I'm not here to judge no one, but don't breathe down the phone like. I don't get it. Marv, don't get intimidated. I'm not scared. My address, everything's on my web, not on my webpage, my number plate. It's all there, man. Just give me a bell before you come. I'm going to have a green tea. That's it. So that's it for today then. Yeah. Anything else to talk about?
There's a few people talking about the crypto.
Yeah, the crypto is another thing that everyone's not really paying too much attention. You got to ask yourself, right? Why are the government going to set a scheme up for all of you lot to be billionaires overnight? Think about it. Why are they going to do that? because you're special. You're the ones. Like, come on, man. It's all going pairs up. It's all going tits up. It's all going pear shape, and everyone's going to lose everything. And it's the same principle what they've done with Canary Wharf. The amount of villains that invested in Canary Wharf when they first started the development of that, then they froze all the asset, they paused all the building regulations, everybody run out of money, and then it got taken over. So the same thing with the cryptocurrency. They're going to regulate it, bring it in. People that have had money put in from there, you're going to lose your dough. Yeah, you're going to lose your dough, and there's nothing you can do about it because you're going to be happy. You're not nicked. Yeah, but you're going to lose your dough. And then what's going to happen is the government will say, right, this is our coup now. The same thing they done with the rubbish. When we was all rubbish men back in the day, yeah, it was sweet. Anyone could go and pick up rubbish from anywhere and do it. Everyone was nicking a fortune. And then one day they went, hold on a minute. Nah, you need to be regulated. So anyone with this criminal record, anyone with that criminal record can't work in this industry, can't do this, can't do that. And they nosed it up, so no one like me back in the day could earn money doing the rubbish refusal stuff. So they're going to do the same thing with the crypto stuff. Once you get to a certain amount of money, they're going to pull your pants down because they've seen you coming. And you've been gullible, like the little greedy so-and-so you are, right? Fix up. Yeah, it's too good to be true. Yeah? Remember what they say about if it's too good to be true. Mum! Why is it if it's too good to be true? And I need not tell you the fucking answer. So cryptocurrency is going to be something in the near future. What they've had to do is get the currency flowing, working, buzzing, ticking in the marketplace. Everybody knows what it is now. Then they'll get to a place where they'll get a bit of crooked people. Crooked, yeah, bit of money, yeah, nicked a few quid, mate, nicked a few quid. Yeah, spot on, used, quick. Everyone invests, rubber stamp, sweet. Everyone's got the green light to use it now. Then they come in, regulate it. They regulate it, knock everyone off it that ain't squeaky clean. And then that's it. The banks will take over and it'll become the new way of currency. So all you people that have been driving people mad, the rare cunts for not getting involved with the crypto, yeah, I can't wait to see how wealthy you become in the next 10 years. And that's just logical, knowing, yeah, at least 4 people that are worth over 200 mil. And not one of them are involved in cryptocurrency. Why? Why? One geezer said to me, I said, why are you got it? He said, Marvin, look, do you know what, Marvin? It's a long-term investment. And do you know what? It's not safe enough right now. It's not even regulated. Your money's not safe. So why am I then going to go and put my money somewhere where someone said it's not safe, and I'm a millionaire hundreds of times over, and it's not safe for me? So I'm going to say, I'll tell you what I'll do. Yeah, I'm sensible. I'll use my nut and I'll go and invest and I'll stick the crypto in, you know what I mean? It just don't make sense. So if it don't make sense to wealthy people that I know, it's not going to make sense to me. If it don't make sense to me, I hope it don't make sense to you. And I'll just ask someone now, right? So cryptocurrency is sick, right? So if it's that sick and you've got so much money, why don't you draw your crypto out of one currency, yeah? Yeah? Draw it all out, then buy the cheapest currency ever, knowing that it's going to go back up eventually. Why don't you do that? And all the crypto traders, this is what I said to a couple of them. I said, I'll tell you what you do. Send me a contract, right? And then I will give you 50% of everything I earn for the rest of my life on cryptocurrency if you give me my startup fund. If you give me my seed fund, I'll give you 50% I earn on the cryptocurrency for the rest of my life. And none of them have got back to me. Now think about it. If you've got a legally binding contract to get 50% of someone's worth, knowing that they can make hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, a month, why are you not going to do that? Why? Because it don't exist. So, me personally, be careful. Be sensible. And only touch what everyone else is touching. Otherwise you're taking chances that you might not be able to afford later in life. But yeah, good luck to everyone in the crypto. I'll see you in about 20 years' time when it's all regulated and safe. I'll be in it then, do you know what I mean? And I'll invest in it then, when it's safe and I'm going to get a return on my money. You can't even get your money when you want it with them. It's a joke. So, with the crypto. Next. Anything else, Dean? Well, that's another current affair. Not much about the bloody COVID, but just stay safe, stay focused, stay healthy, stay positive, stay happy, stay harmonious, and keep it real. Nothing but the truth. Share, like, comment, and subscribe. Send to your friends. Spread the word. Let's do some good. Nothing but the truth. Oh, I actually feel old.